Banksters, fucking wankers, financial terrorists, us fucking gangsters. Some be banksters, fucking wankers, financial terrorists, us fucking gangsters. Some be banksters, fucking wankers, financial terrorists, us fucking gangsters. Some be banksters, fucking wankers, financial terrorists, us fucking gangsters. Terrorists the fear that they want you to join. Burn all your fears and get some Bitcoin. Terrorists the fear that they want you to join. Burn all your fears and get some Bitcoin. Some be banksters, fucking wankers, financial terrorists, us fucking gangsters. Some be banksters, fucking wankers, financial terrorists, us fucking gangsters. Fucking wankers, financial terrorists, us fucking gangsters. Some be banksters, fucking wankers, financial terrorists, us fucking gangsters. We fight for what's right and avoid those motherfuckers up high and get the max coin. We fight for what's right and avoid those motherfuckers up high and get the max coin. We fight for what's right and avoid those motherfuckers up high and get the max coin. We fight for what's right and avoid those motherfuckers up high and get some max coin.
Niggas drilling, man. We out here. Lordy. Yeah. I told my Lordy to take a look inside the dark market. Upload the Bitcoin, we call car shopping. Yeah. You wanted me to check out your music page, you not popping. Now gas out like Bernard Hopkins. I got a computer geek white boy, you go to John Hopkins. One Bitcoin worth $8,000. Let's get it. Found the vendor off the tour browser, poor product and flipped it. He just needed a drop addy for when they gonna ship it. It wasn't a scam, he read the forms before he made a decision. Until he ran into his man's Skrilla. Yeah. Told him we can do this shit legally, no need for paraphernalia. Just keep your word, I heard here's somebody that'll kill you. I'm on a Coinbase, looking kinda familiar like I've been here before. I see the transaction on the blockchain, you gotta spin with your boy. Shoot me the address to the wallet, and I'ma send it tomorrow. Expect me one run up in all black on the horse like Zorro. It'll be best to control the temperature, Paco. Put a nigga ass in the footy nails, there won't be nobody there to help me. Coinbase layout super easy, there's no way I can fail you. Use the VPN so the boys have no way to trail you. To move at fast pace, I had to control the hash rate. The value of the Bitcoin decreased, it was a bad day. Misogynist acts use bitches' backs as an ashtray. Skate on bitches like Cascade. I'm out. My Lordy got a Bitcoin ATM in his living room. All of the cash I had in my pocket, I wanted to give it to him. With the vision I'm vicariously living through. I told my bro it's a way that we can make money even though it's different for him. He got a new job contract, want me to rip it for him. Told me any ideas I had in my mind, go ahead and pitch it to him. My dude's busting the room like, what are you niggas doing? Yo, give me those. I told my Lordy to take a look inside the dark market. Upload the Bitcoin, we call car shopping. Yeah, you wanted me to check out your music page, you not popping. Now gas out like Bernard Hopkins. I got a computer geek white boy, you go to John Hopkins. One Bitcoin worth $8,000. Let's get it. Found the vendor off the tour browser, poor product and flipped it. He just needed a drop addy for when they gonna ship it. It wasn't a scam, he read the forms before he made a decision. Until he ran into his man's Skrilla. With the raps and the Bitcoin, we can make 11 million. Get a dose of me, that's how the medicine heal you. Hear me? Give me those. Rock Lordy. Rock Lordy.
He was like, yo, do you know how happy I was for you to see you just shoot up to the top of the Bitcoin conversation? He was like, yo, you literally did the impossible.
We really gotta figure out a better way to budget this family's future.
Bitcoin.
What?
I don't know.
It's just a tool, isn't it?
Bitcoin.
There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin mined.
Sound money. I'm opening doors for all colors, you know what I mean? For all opinions, for all ideologies.
It's an alien life form.
Bitcoin.
This money is
1 million. 1 million. 1 million.
Bitcoin.
You get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it.
This is John McAfee, and you, lucky people, are listening to Guns and Butter, Bitcoin Techno.
And there's a constant creation of these.
Every 10 minutes. Instead of the money in your pocket losing value over time because the central government is diluting it, it's getting concentrated because more people want to use it than there's not enough around, so it gains value in your pocket. And that's a deflationary currency. Bitcoin. Cryptocurrencies, but it's by far the most popular and the biggest.
Bitcoin is decentralized, meaning that its distribution and exchange aren't controlled or regulated by a government or other authority.
Because of the decentralized nature of not having a third party to ask permission in terms of you accessing or spending or sending your money, that's powerful. And then to be paid in Bitcoin and have it outweigh your salary, that's life-changing.
Well, welcome back to another episode, just the second episode, I guess, since the rebranding of the Audionals Show. A show that's really dedicated to the future of music in Web3, a movement that was really triggered by the creation of the Audionals protocol allowing data to be stored directly on the blockchain. There's quite a lot of music, as you've heard already. There's quite a lot of music that has already been inscribed on the blockchain. But one of the things that Audionals is all about is about taking it one step further and allowing for the creation of music in an on-chain environment where the actual production environment itself is inscribed, and the users are able to create music in an on-chain environment where they can then benefit from all these things that we've heard about for years about the promise of blockchain and Bitcoin. And finally, it feels like the time is actually here now for us to take advantage of this, and for the promise of full transparency, immutable attribution, fair royalty payments, musicians becoming much more sovereign. It's all kind of starting to happen now because of the fact that we can now intertwine ownership and rights into a blockchain environment. So I'll show you a little bit in a bit about the Audionals sequencer, which is allowing recursive access or recursive play of on-chain audio elements that can be then resequenced into new songs, where the original audio elements are actually still being played directly from the song they were sampled from. So it's quite an interesting new way of looking at things, and it certainly brings up some interesting changes in the dynamic between musicians and the host of people that they have to rely on to try to earn a fair wage. Anyway, let's have a little listen to some more songs that are inscribed on the blockchain for all eternity. Let's hope we can get more on there to listen to soon.
freedom to transact by Ash Lightstone. The freedom to transact is the freedom to be. It means I don't need your permission to do as I please and just be me. It's a freedom that we should all have, without any conditions we have no say in. There shouldn't be any strings attached or any rhetoric about it being a sin. It's a freedom that allows us all to be equal in a manner that is profoundly meaningful, and for that reason they tell us it's dangerous. They say there's no way for it to be purposeful. When others don't want us to have this freedom, we have to stop and ask why. We have to ultimately see that it's about control and that their so-called protection is a lie. This is the ultimate freedom, the most significant one. All others are built on top of this, and without this, no other freedoms can be won. It's a freedom every person deserves, and it's worth fighting for, because it means we enjoy the fruits of our labor, and it puts the power back in our hands forevermore. Governments don't want us to have this freedom. They want to always control us. They think it's business as usual. They think we won't make a fuss. This is the freedom that breaks the strings that were unfairly attached to this unconscious puppet, who is finally shaking the sleep out of its eyes as it realizes that all along it's been a muppet. When we seize this freedom, when we seize the means of production, we say, up yours to the man. We say, let's start this peaceful revolution. Without this, we don't have freedom of speech. We don't get to decide how to live anymore. That's why we must continue this battle, because complete liberation is what we're here for.
Some interesting variety of audio available on chain, but there's something else here that is really worth having a little play with. What is it? It's inscription 14,421,708, and it's a little on-chain music engine which you can feed any kind of seed you like into it, and it will generate music based on the seed. Let's have a little play. So as I'll show you here, it always will generate the same music from the same seed. That was I did the same seed there. I thought it was. Oh, interesting. It's not the same. Close. It's very cool. I have got a synth that I've been hoping to inscribe soon, which is cool. But this is interesting little thing here. I imagine this is potentially part of a computer game. I haven't actually looked into Descent into Darkness yet, but I think it says it's an Audionals RPG. Yeah, interesting. Let's see if I've got some more music lined up here. I've been promising to bring some guests on the show, and I'm definitely keying them up. It's just been a bit of a technical headache, kind of trying to get music from my computer and my microphone, and then bring other people in. Try to have them hear the music as well. It's been quite tricky, but I think what I'll do is I'll kind of shift the format about so that we can listen to some music and then have a chat about some stuff, because there's a lot of interesting things going on right now in the space. Lots of interesting possibilities around some of these things that we've been working on, around music rights and royalties and attribution, sampling, resampling, sample tracking, sample usage. It's all changing at the moment. It's all evolving quite quickly, and it's going to be really exciting once we really see some real creativity happening and have some examples of songs that we can use to demonstrate this kind of Merkle tree of rights that working in an on-chain environment, or at least a decentralized Web3 style environment, is going to really empower musicians like never before. Yeah, looking forward to that.
We begin with breaking news tonight. A mysterious online marketplace is shut down by the FBI months after our Call 6 investigators exposed how easy it was to buy drugs on that site.
It is called the
Silk Road website, an online marketplace for drugs and illegal services.
According to this sealed complaint filed by the FBI, the Silk Road had nearly 1 million members, and in 2.5 years generated approximately $1.2 billion
in drug sales.
Today we're going to talk about the Silk Road, so called because it was not a road and was not made of silk.
registered users able to use an anonymous Bitcoin currency to buy drugs.
Silk Road sells everything from black tar heroin to crack cocaine, 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 cocaine.
I'ma make history, baby. Got long descriptions, my baby. You think you vibing, but you ain't describing. That sound like a mystery, baby. It ain't a mystery, dog. I weigh the risk of reward. Ordinal pixels is dropping, the Bitcoin is popping, the socials galore. Stop 10K, stop 100K. You ain't got none of them. It's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long night. Might be a long flight. If I see SB, if it dinner's on site, I'ma put it on Toast. I'ma put it on Knocker. Then just put it on Testament. We gon' put it on Block. Yeah, we doing it proper. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone inscribing ordinals on their computer. Road to 1 million. Ordinals, 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 ordinals. Shout out Baby Spot, shout out Udi, Capital Wizards, Ordinal Faces, Pod Bones, On-Chain Monkey Danny, Frank, DK, D-God, I see you. Billy, what's up? Ordinal Shards, Bitcoin Shrooms, Pixel Pepes, it's too many to name it. I'm out.
In the loop.
There is another way to make money.
So yeah, just thinking about the quality of audio, you can hear some of the tracks there. The audio is the bit rate's been reduced, and you can really hear in the sort of tone of the resolution of the audio. You can hear that it's been turned down. And one of the things that sort of recycling or even using on-chain elements like on-chain synthesizers. And on-chain plugins. Once you get into that world, you're not talking about inscribing audio data, which is obviously quite expensive. but you're actually recycling. People are able to reuse the same elements again and again. The same sample can be reused in hundreds or thousands of songs, the same plugin. And the benefit, sort of behind the scenes, is that those plugins in this new world that we live in, those plugins exist in a person's wallet. So it's quite different in that sense, that there is a provable owner of not just the audio sample or the song that the sample's taken from, but also any element that is used, whether it's a synthesizer or a reverb unit, whatever it might be. It exists in a person's wallet, which is that's the first step towards being able to create these payment rails that uses a song's DNA, a song becoming an executable file, and within the songs, entwined within the song's DNA, is an immutable record of rights across every element of how that song has been created, from the composer to the mixing. If you imagine working in an environment like Logic or Pro Tools, where you're using a host of samples and plugins, but if you imagine that signal chain and all the different components that your audio is running through, if you put that into the on-chain environment, all of those components, every single process in that chain across all channels is a process that was created and inscribed by somebody, and the software, the sound, the image, whatever it is, exists within an address that can be used to send payments to. So it's kind of like the perfect transparent payment rails that the global PROs have dreamed about for years. Something I wanted to sort of bring up. I was going to have some of the guys from This Is Number One come on to the show. This Is Number One was one of the first, well, I think it was the first marketplace to sell an on-chain NFT transaction, auction off an NFT on-chain in 2021 on the Stacks blockchain. But we've been working on an album for quite some time. I'm just going to see if I can find it on here now. Over here. It's a really beautiful piece of work. There's 11 different bands and artists who all collaborated with the same 3D visual artist who's worked on things like Spider-Man and Lord of the Rings. And we conceived this album where there's each band has submitted a song, and then that song has 111 sort of music videos, if you will, 100 of one, and then 10 versions, and then a one of one version for each song. And the quality of the graphics, I mean, some of the initial music videos that we got back were almost bordering on a gigabyte of memory. And so how to secure this this work when it's really its only format is supposed to be, on chain, or at least immutably permanent. It's given us a lot of food for thought in investigating new ways to innovate while maintaining the focus on self-sovereignty that this allows, while trying to find ways not to constrict the creative process itself, while just opening up all these opportunities for creatives to take control. Yeah, so hopefully next week that might actually happen, and we'll have a proper discussion about it, and actually discuss some of these other options. You know, how can we get more music represented on chain or in Web3 environments, but distributed on chain. Music that works for its creators rather than the hosts of gatekeepers that currently kind of rule the roost. I'll have a little play with the sequencer, just for those who haven't seen this in action. Again, this version that I'm using here is very much the beta version, but I should be able to load. So these down here, these are all channels running across here. This is like a sequencer, a step sequencer. It's like the original way of resampling, but so this is 64 steps here. Each of these are buttons, each of them represents one of 64 steps in the chain, and anywhere along here I can trigger a sound to play, and I can put the sound in this in the channel, and now I can trigger the sound here. And this is an ordinal I found. I think it's a funny one of the guy.
Nobody's taking cuts out of what I say and fucking chopping it up. Nobody's taking cuts out of what I say and fucking chopping it up.
So that gave me an idea. Let's take some cuts out of what he says and chop it up. So here we've got like an audio trim window. So this is importing the audio file using the ordinal ID. I can import it into as many channels as I want. So I've put the same sample in. The same sample in this channel here. So then we could, for example, take. Is that the word? Is that cuts? So you can just basically just sort of select a sample in here. You could, and then when we go back out into the sequencer window, we've now got this this trimmed version of the audio.
Nobody's taking cuts out of what I say and fucking chopping it up. Cuts. Nobody's taking cuts.
And what have we got in this one? We've got something else here. So this is one of the ones which we've got there are some beats, and so we could, this should loop up. Perhaps it does need to be. But you could also just take a kick, for example, and then use this as a kick. So we can take a kick all the way through here. So we've got a kind of 4/4 beat.
Nobody's taking cuts out of what I say and fucking chop.
And then, because I think I've got the same one in here, so then we could also just take just a hat, perhaps. Yeah, it's a bit buggy this, but I'll get there. So then, in fact, maybe let's get the louder one there. So it looks a little bit louder, that guy. So we've then got a hat. I'm going to actually get these so that you can label them and mark them up, because that would make things a lot easier.
So nobody's taking cuts out of what I say. Nobody's taking cuts out of what I say.
What else else have we got in here? Have we got a snare? That's a snare there, I guess, is it? Yeah. So then we'll...
Nobody's taking cuts. Nobody's taking cuts out.
I think because the timing is...
Nobody's taking cuts out of what I say.
Anyway.
Nobody's taking cuts out of what I say. And
you get the gist. I think once I've got this these trims working well, we'll be able to get really creative and create some interesting stuff that's recycling sounds on chain. I'm just going to play a little bit more music, and then I'm going to go back to working on this sequencer to try and get it. I really was hoping that this week I would have this this ready to kind of launch onto the website, but I keep finding little snags. But hopefully within a week or so I'm going to have a fully working version of this where you'll be able to save all your settings, all your trim settings, save projects as JSON files, share them, send them to anybody else. They can just open your file and carry on working, and then we get into the arena where we'll start to be able to inscribe those JSON files, get them to a nice compressed format where they're only 1 or 2 kilobytes per file. Inscribe the song, the JSON format, and then pick that up with a recursive player, which is only 150 bytes. So that's, when transaction fees were around 10 VBs, it was I think I worked out it was going to be 4 or 5 cents to produce a player. With the where they are now, it's more like 10 times that or more, but that's still, in terms of having a vehicle to distribute your album, if it's an album of on-chain sequenced music that's recorded in this way, where each song is a text file of around a couple of kilobytes in size that is then recursively picked up in hundreds or thousands or millions of players that are all considerably smaller than an average Bitcoin transaction, just 150 bytes, and then those players can be distributed peer-to-peer between an artist and fans. The players can also recursively have additional traits like reporting plays to the artists, keeping track of plays in a way that, this is enormously high resolution data with no human input needed. We can get to a point where these songs, which are executable files that can then be trained to, or produced to report all manner of data, which can then be used to shape up a much fairer landscape for royalties that is not dictated by people or power or shareholders, but dictated by pure raw data. We'll all be better off for that. So this is the start of a move towards that fairer world, I hope. But I'm going to keep striving to get us there, as long as I believe it's the way forward. Anyway, play another couple of tunes and then call it a day, and then hopefully next week I really will come back with some guests and some really interesting conversations. I have so many amazing conversations with people throughout the day, and it'd be really great to bring some of those into this space where instead of regurgitating amazing things I've learned throughout the day, we can learn live together, because it's such a fast-moving space, and I think music has really been a little bit left behind. There have been a lot of attempts. We've been the first NFTs that I was involved in on Stacks were with Fatboy Slim and Orbital and Dave Stewart from Eurythmics. We were working, looking for musical. We were looking for the answer then, and we created contracts that had all the royalties built in, so that when the on-chain transaction happened, there was a series of small payments which would then distribute that sale to all the different Bitcoin addresses that were associated with the NFTs. But of course, it's not something that we can enforce. It's not something anyone can enforce, and this is why I think we have to build the perfect system to the point where the performing rights organizations around the world just cannot argue with this better, transparent system of payments and attribution. I think once it is clear that that this is a much cleaner way to operate, then the PROs should hopefully, we should get to a point where these types of immutable Merkle trees of rights are treated and regulated, brought into law, so that the PROs can use this system to distribute royalties rather than the current system, which is flawed in pretty much every way, compared to something that's completely and totally transparent and data driven. Anyway, I'm just looking for my the window I was in. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to leave it for this week, but thanks for joining. Hope I haven't waffled on too much. I have had my head in code for the last few weeks, but especially this week, because I really feel like I'm just about ready to get this thing out there, the first sort of working version. And so yeah, my head is slightly in the world of arrays, but hopefully, yeah, next week be back with some guests, some more music. I'm actually hoping to have a chat with Charlie Spears next week, and also who else? Some of the guys from Siegel, and this is number one. So hopefully I can get myself together enough to sort that out, so I've got audio lined up for the guests. So we'll see, but yeah, thanks again. Here we go into the future musical landscapes. This is where it all starts. It's the spark that begins a real revolution, not unlike any revolution that we saw. The revolutions we thought were revolutions in the past. This is different. Heard that before, but I really think it is. Anyway, take care. Thanks again, and see you next week.
The pain breached, love stopping, guns popping, taught to play with army men, young fun chopping. But it ain't fun and games when a child's shot, dropping to the floor. No one's there to stop the coffin locking, empty cotter rocking, blood clotting in my arteries, arrows fly across the top blocking. So please tell me that we are free, freedom of speech or the freedom to breathe. The way I believe is respect, equally him as if he is you and you are me. Who are we to end a conscious slave for the power of greed to endow her and we? Cause we got our own choice and we made it. Yes we have. Yeah, we got our own choice and we made it. We make the bed. Let's stop feeding the world. There's people bleeding in hell. It's like they're breeding in hell. Money powers people like they've been breeding with shell. They've been wanting to dig up Antarctica for the fossil fuel power of sun. I'm a solar powered alien through the sky. Weird unusual guy spreading love from the inside out. But I will fight if I have to. You got your own choice. Make your own choice. You got your own choice, so make your own choice. You got your own choice. Make your own choice. You got your own choice, so make your own choice. Yeah, I feel alienated when I think about stopping. The bombs dropping on the country, propaganda got us lost, my guts dropping.
What do you do if you live in a place where your money is suddenly worth almost nothing? And every day, because of wild inflation, it's worth even less.
So the only thing backing this money is belief in the competency of the government.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Believe me, there's been a lot of effort and time and energy that's been put into
Too busy to watch this ad. Just like you were too busy to invest in Bitcoin.
For as long as we've been tinkering with computers on digital cash. A cash that would function like cash.
In the sense that it's non-traceable, anonymous, instant, free to use, and yet would be able to interoperate with computer networks.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
clear, Bitcoin is rising up, virtual currency. Governments can't make them stop, cause it's got that freedom that all of us love. Peer-to-peer payments, you can't get enough. It's money 2.0, cold storage vaults we trust. Effortless transactions are just another test. If you are hashing, move the blockchain up. Where a paradigm shift, so get yourself a wallet. Transforming the basic pillars of society. It's the predominant peer-to-peer cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is our technological tour de force. Should all really just go ahead and jump up on board. Because you know I'm all about that Bitcoin, keep mining. I'm all about that Bitcoin, keep mining. I'm all about that Bitcoin, keep mining. I'm all about that Bitcoin. Give me some Satoshi, God, you know it's a lot to me. Please no more faucets, everyone agrees. I'm here to tell you, Bitcoin's faster, more secure, and more efficient than it is. My mama used Bitcoin to pay for my college fees. And yesterday I used it to buy myself some coffee. You can use it everywhere, every day, in any place. And one day we'll even use it to fly into